Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to this Thursday's special edition of Harmonize to Energize. Special because we have guest presenters. My name is Terry Matthews. It's been my privilege to share aspects of the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU self-help for the past 5 years. And today, for anybody who's absolutely brand new, I'm expecting this to be an absolute treasure chest of information. But before we get there, for anyone who's new, the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU is really the art of energy balancing as it moves through our body. And energy is sometimes understood or called prana or life force. And in the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU, similar to acupuncture, but not exactly the same, this energy moves through pathways in the body, vertical and horizontal pathways. And in JIN SHIN JYUTSU, we adjust it by adjusting what we call safety energy locks. And there's 26 of them, left and right of the spine, 3 in the arms. JIN SHIN JYUTSU was brought to the West by Mary Eno Burmeister back in the 70s from her master, I said meister, didn't I? Her master, Jiro Murai of Japan.
Terry, I
And,
think it was the 50s, not
oh,
the
really?
70s.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, okay, in the 50s? Yes, okay. But she began teaching it in the 70s, is that right?
Well, her first textbook was written in 1966.
Ah.
So,
Oh,
and she was
I've got
teaching
some
before
dates
that.
skewed there, so thank you for that. So
Yeah.
ignore everything I said, but everything Wayne said was more accurate as regards when Mary started teaching. Anyway, since she began teaching, she taught it to several instructors, and the art spread across the world. And I'm delighted, and it's a great pleasure that today we have one of her earliest, if not the earliest, international JIN SHIN JYUTSU instructor, Wayne Hackett. Welcome, Wayne. And with him today is a longtime JIN SHIN JYUTSU practitioner from San Diego and also a class organizer, Lisa Gritton. And that's enough from me. And I'm going to pass the baton, as the word goes, over to both Wayne and Lisa. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Terry. You know, Elise and I are talking about this time together with you folks tonight. We both agreed that what we're hoping for is a conversation, not a lecture. We really want to hear your insights, your awareness, your experiences, your questions. And it's that which makes all of us richer. You know, it's your contribution that is going to make tonight's time more valuable for each of us. So please don't be reticent or timid. And if you are, you can hold that little finger or the index. You can hold any finger and it's going to help. And we'd love to hear from you. Lisa?
Well, it's a real honor to be here with you, Terry, and especially with you, Wayne. And I'm very excited to be here with you tonight and this morning, depending on where you are, and also very soon in person.
Yeah,
so we'll
I'm
talk about that
forward to
later.
that. We can talk. Good. I'm reminded of something in Terry's introduction. He talked about we are moving these energetic pathways that are moving. Just to give you a sense of Mary's language, our teacher, Mary Burmeister, she said, we are energetic beings having a physical experience. And we sometimes forget that. We get so wrapped up in our physical bodies and our physical projects that we forget that we are essentially energy. And all the great teachers, including Einstein and now Tesla and others, tell us everything is energy. So we're not giving you a new message. It's just that we sometimes forget this energetic part of ourselves. And it's good to remind ourselves that this energy is constantly flowing, constantly energizing I like your language, Terry. Harmonize to energize. It's constantly energizing our bodies. And there can only be two projects in life: too much or not enough. It's really simple. It's really a really simple story of energy and its movement. Again, quoting Mary, life is motion. And when we get in trouble is when we attempt to stop. We stop moving, and that's when things begin to pile up and accumulate. And so I hope that one of the conversations tonight can be about movement, because that's who we are.
I was just thinking, Wayne, that in my observation, the body and the being knows the way back to harmony. And we can just allow it, and we can get out of the way, allow the jumper cable to do its magic. But the body knows how to go back, and we don't have to figure it out. In some modalities they do, but we can just simply be and let harmony happen.
Folks, Lisa has given you a really big tip. That word allow, which adds to 9, by the way, but that's another story. That word allow is all about letting go and allowing our destiny to unfold. We are created to be happy. We are meant to be the creator in matter as laughter. And we really have a hard time with that sometimes, allowing that joy, allowing ourselves the freedom to enjoy being in a body. So great suggestion, Lisa. That allow word is one of my favorites. And there's nothing I have to do. We aren't human doings. Coming back to Mary's language again, right? We're human beings. We're not human tryings or human doings or human striving. We're human beings. And we can be who we are and enjoy a journey of a lifetime and learning. We're here to learn and to grow. You know, one thing I'd like to share that I often do with folks in online classes or even in person is talk about the number of the day. And I don't know if any of you have thought about it, but today is a 22 day. And 22, oh, who's your kitty there, Lisa?
Oh, this is JIN SHIN Jasper, also known as a Burmeister. He's a Burmese.
Oh, good. So what we have in the number of the day is the month of July is 7. And the day is 25. So we've got double 7s, folks. And 7 means victory. 7 means perfect life power. 7 goes to the center of our brains to regenerate brain cells. And so we've got that double action of 7 in both the month and the day. And then we're continuing to live in an 8 year. All year, we're 8ing. We're being movement. We're being justice. We're being strength. All those meanings of 8. And together, 7 plus 7 plus 8, 1422. What a wonderful message for all of us. We're here to adapt, friends. I was just reading a quote today by Darwin, who said, "It's not the strongest, the biggest, the baddest, the meanest who survives. It's the one who's willing to adapt to what life presents." That's strength. The ability to adapt to what life presents and to be happy in that moment. Because one of the meanings of 22, one of the definitions we utilize, 22 says, I am happy and content wherever I am, whatever situation, because I can adapt. I don't have to tell life what I need or want. Life brings me, as Lisa was saying, we simply allow life to bring us that which is ours to live and enjoy. So big number today. I think, in fact, I've said in recent months, if I could give the world one safety energy lock, to fully function, I believe it might be the 22s, because they're the center of physiology. They're where all of the elements of creation come together. The 22s are a center where all of the personal energetic centers or safety energy locks cross. The 12 organ function energies that build and repair the body, they all go through the 22s. So if you want to help your metabolism and all of your physiology, and or if you simply want to be happier and more content in your situation, this is a great place to let your hands rest. And I like to cross them. You can do it either way if you want. But I do like to cross them and to let those 22s bring contentment. You know, Mary Burmeister, some of us in this group tonight, many of us in this group tonight who experienced Mary and her teachings, know how brilliant she was. And one of the things I liked about Mary was that she didn't often make absolute statements. She didn't say you must do this or you can't do that or this will always happen or that will never happen. Those weren't Mary's words. However, about 22, she did say, if you will keep your 22s open, you will never have a stroke. Now that's huge, folks. There are so many strokes on the planet today. So many people have heads that are filled with congestion and thought and energy. And what the 22 does is it opens the body so that the energy can leave the head and you won't have that kind of stroke energy, that powerful congestion in your head, because you're exhaling. You're letting go. You're allowing the breath to breathe me. Thank you, Muriel. That's a Muriel Carlton quote. She used to say, I'm so grateful the breath breathes me. And that's what, again, Lisa is referring to. We allow the breath to be that descending movement down the front of the body, from head to toe, let go. And we allow the breath from the toes to come up the back of the body to clean and purify. And some of that is breaking down the old patterns so that new ones can manifest. So really to be the breath, to allow the breath to breathe me. What a wonderful, liberating message that is. Lisa?
It's beautiful, Wayne. Thank you.
So the other thing that you and I talked about, Lisa, is there is so much chaos in the world today, right? And you know that in the art of JIN SHIN, number is vitally important, that we have a sense of number, who and what numbers are. And simple message, numbers are functions, okay? And one of the ways we play with number in the art is to tabulate or sum up or arrive at a value for all of the letters of the alphabet. And for us in the English-speaking world, that's a really nice thing, because we have 26 letters in our alphabet, and we have 26 personal energetic centers or safety energy locks, okay? And these energy locks are there to bring us the gifts of the universe. They are literally representatives of universal force. And what they bring is all possibility. We can be all things. So we want to look at, when we use a particular word, which energetic centers, which safety energy locks, and what is the energy message held in that word. So I offer that if you look at the word chaos, C is the third letter, H is the 8th, A is the 1st, O is the 15th, and S is 19. So you've got 3 plus 8 plus 1 plus 15 plus 19. Chaos is a 46, 10, 1. That's why it's chaos, because it's a 1. It's a new beginning. Friends, we are absolutely in a new age. You know, as a kid, I grew up hearing about the age of Aquarius and when it's coming and when it'll start. Well, it's not a question anymore. We're in it, kids. We're in it. This is the new age.
And the
And-
10 is, I'm sorry to interrupt. The 10 is movement and unity. So out of the chaos, hopefully comes, you know, the movement forward and the unity, which, you know, the world needs.
That's a great point, Lisa. Thank you. No interruption at all. That unity, we sometimes, you know, and about the number 1, we talk about 2 primary functions: unity and movement. So 10 is a 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. We reduce things to a single digit. So in the 1 unity of 10, 46, we see how that's so lacking in the world today. There's not a lot of unity in our world. There's a lot of polarity. There's a lot of your side, my side. There's not a lot of unity right now. That's one of the greatest gifts we can bring to the world, is a unified understanding that we are one.
And the 10 also brings us abundance. And I think a lot of the chaos is because of fear of lack and limitation. And so with that movement, the 10 energy is there with the 1 energy. That's how I see it.
Absolutely. And another piece of it, folks, the 10 rules the knees. And the knees allow us to surrender. The knees allow us to bow to our highest good and to allow and accept that movement into another way of being. So while I appreciate that chaos isn't always fun, you don't get transformation without chaos. Nothing ever changes without something breaking down and a time of chaos. So don't be discouraged, folks. Don't be scared. It's happening because it's necessary for us to move into a greater way of being, a happier, healthier, more Aquarian way of being. Another piece of that, you know, in the art of JIN SHIN, we look at numbers, we look at music, we look at astrology, we look at color, we look at sensations and the 5 senses. We look at everything because it's all a part of life. And one of my fascinations has been over the years, the astrological message. And I can tell you right now, one of the hugest energies is the planet Pluto, which is the planet of death and rebirth. Pluto is at 0 degrees Aquarius and will be in Aquarius for about 17 more years. This isn't going to pass quickly, friends. It's going to get easier because we'll realize we're going to survive. We're going to be okay. We are okay. But Pluto is absolutely thrashing the old system. You know, Capricorn, where it moved out of, Capricorn represents the old way, the old time religion. Capricorn likes status quo. It wants things to be solid and rock and not to change too much. Stability. Well, the water bear, Aquarius, is all about invention. It's all about finding new ways of being. Building a better mousetrap is one of the expressions you'll sometimes hear. And so what's happening now is all of those old systems where we had stated ways of being and how we do things, and we had all the rules and all the regulation. Pluto is saying, no, not anymore. We're going to find a new way. We're going to be inventive. Aquarius is the sign of invention, which is another word for rebellion. You don't get invention if you don't rebel. And boy, we're seeing some rebellion, aren't we? Planetarily, governmentally, and the big powers, we're seeing a lot of rebellion. And we're sometimes seeing it in our own homes and our own families and relationships. So again, don't be afraid of it. Ask yourself, what new way of being is going to be shown to me? Someone have a comment for us? Okay. Well, like I said, if you do, get our attention. Yeah. The other thing I was thinking about, Lisa, and I'd like to hear your thoughts about it. In this 8-year, we've talked about it in a couple of other classes, there are 3 words, and they all add to 8. And those 3 words are faith, hope, and trust. They're all 8 values. Faith relates to our bus line and our hearts. It allows us to open our hearts. It allows us to feel safe in exposing ourselves, in being vulnerable, because we know, we have faith that we're going to be provided for and protected and shown the way. Faith adds to 44. Then we have hope. And hope, defined in the dictionary as the creative use of the mind to find the most positive outcome in any situation. Now, that's not the hope that says, oh, I hope I get what I want. The hope that says, oh, please give me what I know. It's not that kind of pitifulness. It's the creative use of the mind to find the most positive outcome in any situation. And so what we got is this heart and its experience, its sensation, giving to the mind the freedom to hope and see a positive outcome in every situation. And then it goes down to trust in the body, because we can trust our bodies. That's one thing we know. The body never lies. Sometimes I wish it would, but it won't. The body won't tell you I'm okay when I'm not feeling okay. The body won't tell you I'm happy if I'm feeling sad. The body does not know how to lie. And that's one of its greatest gifts. It's constant, truthful feedback about how I'm living my life. And you can trust it. Trust, by the way, as to 8, but it's 98. Okay, so we got hope at 44, faith at 44, faith, hope, they're both 44. And that master number 44, very much about manifestation. Faith will help us to manifest our dreams. Hope will help us to manifest a positive outcome. And trust allows me to live in my body and have a good time, knowing that my body's going to tell me the truth.
And that manifestation reminds me of the magic that's associated with 8 as well. Because with manifestation, you can create, I mean, anything is possible, right?
Yep. And thank you for reminding me about that piece, Lisa. Is there anything more magical than when you're in trust? when you're truly trusting, when you've got hope and the excitement of hope, when you've got faith and the security of faith, is there anything more magical than living in that state? So this helps you to understand eight's magic for sure, those three words. And I'm going to offer that if you will play with them in your own lives and play with bust line, waistline, hip line as faith, hope, and trust, you're going to have a much happier time being in a body. One of the things that I remember, I was in one of my very first classes, I was in Australia, Perth, Australia, well on the west coast of Australia. And I was working with a brand new organizer. And you and I, Lisa, we all organize. We know the fretting and the concerns that we can have about making sure everything's okay and that the class is going to go well. Well, this organizer was concerned. And after the class, she gave me a really good message. She said, "Thank you, Wayne. Because you trusted me, I trusted myself." And friends, I believe that's something we can give to each other. There are times when we all know doubt, when we can fall into insecurity. And then that person around you who can build you up, who says, "No, I know you can do it. I trust you." If you're going to give somebody a gift, that's a good suggestion. Give them your trust. Anybody? Comments? What's going on out there in the trusting world?
Yeah, folks, if you have a comment, some feedback for Wayne and Lisa, just raise your hand. Whoops, I did it. Here comes mine. Oh.
Good. Okay, well, then, Wayne is rarely at a loss for words, folks. So you're probably not going to listen to a lot of silence right now. Building on that 44, each of the 5 fingers is the facilitator, the harmonizer, the helper of 5 safety energy locks. And the ring finger helps numbers 2, 4, 7, 14, and 17. And those 5 energetic beings, and they are beings. I don't want you to think about them as things. They are indeed your closest friends. No one will ever be closer to you than your safety energy locks. And they are there to bring you the gifts of the universe so that you can be all things. So these 5 in this grouping that relate to and are harmonized by holding your ring finger, they add to 44. So here's a synchronicity that's significant. So now I can hold my ring finger and I can uplift my faith, my hope, my trust, because I held my ring finger. And we like to put the thumb over the palm of the thumb over the ring fingernail to make a complete circuit that way of back of the hand, palm of the hand. And in that exhaling, inhaling circuit of thumb over the ring fingernail, we're also helping a very important member of the group of 12, the 12 organ function energy. Because who begins in the ring finger? Each of those circulations, each of those organ function energies have a beginning and an ending site anatomically. And in the ring finger, the lateral aspect of that ring finger, your umbilicus function energy begins its circulation. And the umbilicus function energy brings warmth and harmony to all of my relationships. The umbilicus function energy brings, oh, by the way, it has 8 steps in the circulation pattern. Just an accident, huh? It has 8 steps to bring us into warm, harmonious, happy, healthy relationship. The umbilicus function energy is considered to be the main energy recharge for the body. The umbilicus function energy is for any and all critical needs of the body. And the umbilicus function energy governs and harmonizes the first 3 years of our lives, from birth until about the age of 3. The umbilicus function energy is working its magic with those 8 incredible steps. You can be a part of that magical story of umbilicus function energy. So this is going to be one of my tips for tonight. You know, the nice number is a 22, which is an amplified 2. And this finger on the level of attitude and depths in the art works with the 2nd depth. So again, synchronicity here. We see umbilicus working with the 6th depth. We see umbilicus working with the 1st step and ruling the first years of life. We see the umbilicus working with the breath, which is 2nd depth, be the breath itself. The umbilicus function energy connects to the body through the gallbladder to bring vitality and life to every cell of the body. Friends, you just want to do one thing. Hold your ring finger and let the umbilicus work its magic. What are you showing them there, Lisa?
Well, I thought it might be a fun thing to show them the easy 3-step umbilicus flow.
Great.
Flow.
Good. Why don't you show them that?
I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think, Wayne? Do we need harmony in our relationships?
Well, you and I don't. I've loved you since day one, my darling. But
I mean, collectively as a race right now.
oh, absolutely. A little bit of love, a little bit of harmony, a little bit of relationship. Good. You want to guide them through that?
Sure. Yeah, this is one of the flows that Mary thought was important every day. She put it in the textbook. So we're going to start with our hand on one shoulder, either one. And the opposite hand is going to go to the center of the other side of the neck, either coming from behind. If I'm laying down, I might do it this way. If I'm sitting, I might do it this way. And then that hand from the side of the neck, the number 12, goes to the 20 above the eyebrow, seeing through the eyes of the Creator. And then the 3rd step is just simply coming to that opposite 12, the other side, center of the neck. They call this the halo flow or something, Wayne. Is that what it's been called? It's really
Yes.
easy to do both sides. Helps so many things.
Well, as we said, it's all inclusive. It does help everything. It brings magic to life. And it's a great, it was a great idea, Lisa, to have us all remember the simplicity of the umbilicus function energy. This abbreviated version has only 3 steps. There's a longer version in your textbooks that has the 8 steps.
Mr. Terry, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that when I practice this, I then drop my hand to the 15. So you get the 11 and 15, which is also a self-help for umbilicus. And some people might feel when they're holding on to this crushed up that they just want to let go, then drop it to the 15. Just an idea.
Nice.
Just an
Very
idea.
good. Yeah, I think many of us as students in the art have learned over the years, there's not simply one way. We have so many ways that we can help the energy to be harmonized. And with all of the actions, including umbilicus, holding your ring finger is a quickie for the umbilicus because that's where it originates. So you're getting it off to a good start. The action that Lisa just demonstrated, that halo flow, 3 simple steps. And by the way, if you're studying your textbooks, what you're going to find is that Mary gave in text 2 only 2 quickies, 2 organ function energies that she gave us quickies. And when she gave us a quickie, it was because she knew they were important and we were going to use and need and use them frequently. One of them is the bladder function energy, and one of them is the umbilicus function energy. Those 2, each of us could use every day for the rest of our jumper cable days, and we'd be benefiting from those 7 simple steps. So powerful, so good. And if you have, you're at a loss, I don't know what to do to help myself, I suggest those 2. As they say, there's a reason Mary gave them to us. Okay. Good, Lisa. What else should we talk about tonight, guys? Does anybody have a personal project you'd like some conversation around, or an experience you'd like to share with folks?
Raise
So
your
we-
hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terry.
I was just going to say, raise your hand if you've got something you'd like to share with us all. Don't be shy. We're all friends here. We're all learning. At least I am.
Yes, I have. Hello?
Hello, who's that?
Yeah, Shelley. It's Shelley from London. Hi, Wayne. Many
Hi
greetings
there.
from London. Hi. Wayne, this letting go and taking things easy. And so I'm standing at the moment in front of a situation which is bigger than myself. And I don't know, I really try to relax and not getting nervous, because with a finger, it's like it can go either step by step further, or it can cut off immediately. What can I do? It's like trying to relax. I treat myself, and I often takes at the moment moments out of the day, and I just sit and do my jumper cables, do my fingers out of the blue. And sometimes I fall to sleep because I'm so exhausted. It's like a bit of mentally exhaustion as well. But yeah, it's on Monday. On Monday is a very big, important step. And I like to work with symbols at the moment as well, drawing symbols, as the Kojiki symbols. Look here. I do it actually with a wand, and this is a Harry Potter wand. It's not, I have from a friend, artist, he made me a beautiful wand. So I'm using the symbols just to move a little bit the energy, I want that really everything just manifests in a way it's meant to be. And I'm getting so nervous because I think, oh, my goodness, if it's happening, it's like so wonderful. It's, it's.
Allow things to be wonderful. There's value in that, not fighting it, my friend. And the other thing, I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm feeling that it would be really good for you to find yourself a place in nature, a park,
Ah,
or a place, because I believe one of the things that is really impacting many of us on the planet is we've been disconnected from nature. And nature is such a powerful force of good and
yeah.
such a good teacher. So if you can go and listen to the birds and sit in the park, or maybe feed the cats that wander on the street, or do something about supporting nature,
Hmm.
and allow yourself to be distracted from your mind's preoccupation with this coming event.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have actually birds in front of my window, so they wake me up every morning. So, but yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Allow nature. You know, nature adds to 7, by the way. And it's perfect. And it will help us to understand the perfection of cycles and change, because that's
Yeah.
natural as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Very good.
yesterday, Wayne and I were,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, were you finished, Shelley? Were you finished
Yes.
talking?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Wayne and I were chatting on the phone yesterday about what we might want to talk about today, and the topics are endless.
Mm.
But we were talking about you know, how to discern our heart from our mind, you know, our thoughts from our gut. And I was thinking that one of the most important things for me is to just get out into nature and breathe and just wait, you know. And I think most of us who are JIN SHIN JYUTSU students, we certainly knew when we walked into a class um, that our heart was talking to us, that this was something that we wanted to pursue. But anyway, the nature component, I think, is so important right now. There's so much else going on in the world that gets us away from that, and I think nature connects us with our true self.
Yes, great point. The gift of nature, I believe, is it shows us movement. It shows us cycles. It shows us beauty. And I'm reminded of Thoreau. He said, in nature, there is no judgment, always consequence. So there's going to be consequence to every impact in life, every detail, every situation, action and reaction. I mean, that's physics. Our job is to move with it and to allow it to bring us into a new way of being. So movement, so vitally important, Shelley. Don't allow yourself to sit and stew. Keep your motion. 8 is movement. Okay, that's what this year is about. 8 is the third depth. The third depth is vibration. So we're being brought into a new vibration, and we've got to move with it. We can attempt to resist it, but I don't recommend it. It's probably not going to be a good outcome.
Big changes happen with third depth. Third depth propels us into big change, correct? Sometimes via the frustration or whatever, right? The creativity, the productivity, the change, breaking through.
And it gives us vision. The function of third depth is sight, so that we can see our path and our direction. So yeah, I think third depth is with this number 8 and third depth are vitally important right now, that we continue to have faith, hope, trust, and move, and allow life to move us where we need to be. And Lisa also just mentioned something that I've really been pondering in my own life. How do I know when the message is coming from my heart? And how do I know when the message is coming from my head? When I hear that voice, is it my heart or is it my head? The reason that's significant is the heart has no filters. Recent advances in the study of the heart recognize that the heart has 40,000 neurons at least. And they're constantly receiving sensation. And those sensations are pure. When the mind receives information, it's already got filters, past experience, what we think about it, how we dealt with it, was it good, was it bad? And the heart doesn't have any of that. It simply goes straight to the heart to give us a piece of truth that we can trust. So it's important, I believe, for all of us to spend some time in contemplation and asking, how can I recognize that voice of my heart? How can I know when it's my mind that's giving me a mental construct? Really good self-awareness to look at that. Okay. What we have, by the way, is a 15 that purifies our subconscious and dissolves mental complex. That's a part of that umbilicus you were talking about, Lisa. One of the definitions of number 15, and Terry mentioned that sometimes our hands can drop there when we've been holding that halo flow and drop down to that 15, another way of uplifting the umbilicus or the Capricorn energy, right? And what it does is it brings from the subconscious those things that are constantly impacting us. And it also, very importantly, breaks down those mental constructs, Mary's language, mental complexes. Because those mental complexes are between our subconscious and our heart mind, our feeling nature, right? And if we have, oh, when this comes up, I know what I do. I always do it this way. When I'm in this experience, I always behave this way. That kind of thinking doesn't allow that true inspiration to come directly into the heart and move us and to build the fire and the passion and the creativity. So spend some time, all of us, I'm talking to myself. Is it my heart or is it my head?
I was just
Remember-
thinking of a couple of safety energy locks, Wayne, to help in that regard. So our 20s help us to release mental bondage for all of that infighting and thought process. And then the 20s help us see through the eyes of the creator, our true self, the truth. And I think clearing those helps to kind of, you know, help to clear our
Absolutely.
minds so that we can listen to our heart.
And you know what, as you just did that, Lisa, as you talked about the 21s and the 20s, I was thinking about how Mary gave us the 20, 21, or 22 flow to allow inspiration down into the body. It builds on and continues to build with the stomach function energy of 21 and 22. So again, 20, 21, and 22. 3 vitally important energetic centers that help us to empty our heads so we can get new inspiration. We can get new information. And you don't have to do a flow. You can simply hold 20, 21, and 22 and see what message comes.
Beautiful. Wayne, it looks as though we've got 3 enthusiastic hands raised and time is ticking on.
Okay.
Do we want to take them now? Carrie, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, thank you. I'm in Southern Oregon and I want to get back to nature talk that you guys were talking about because an interesting thing happened today. And we live in the country and my partner went to one of our cabins and she saw a moth in the dish drain in the cabin and she said, "Well, what are you doing here? You need to be outside." And so she picked it up and she took it outside and then she watched it fly away and then a woodpecker came and ate it. in air. And so then she was, shocked and sad that that had happened. But then she injured her big toe, her 7. And so about an hour later, she injured her 7. And so you were talking about nature and 7, and I just wondered if you could elaborate a little bit more about that.
Sure. Thank you. Great question. Yeah, it's you remember that statement I made earlier? In nature, there is no judgment, always consequence.
Yeah.
And so that butterfly or that moth and that woodpecker were simply living nature's law. Sometimes it's hard for us humans to watch those things and not be feeling sad for the moth or angry at the woodpecker, but it's really not our business. Yeah. Now, nature, the word nature, added up, Nature, it adds to 79. Okay. And 79 is a really, really powerful 7 because it adds to 16. And 16 breaks down old ways so new ones can emerge.
Oh, wow.
That's what nature gives you.
Okay.
A lot of us are saying, I want something new. I want something different in life. I want. Well, then let go of what you're holding on to. Because until we break down that old space and create a new place for new experience, for new awareness, new understanding, we don't get anything new. So nature's a great teacher about that.
Yes. Thank you so much. That's very enlightening. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nancy, can you unmute yourself?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for doing this. This is great. Wondering about stomach, food staying in the stomach and not descending. It's a project I've been dealing with for many, many years. And it's not responding to all the various JIN SHIN JYUTSU treatments that I'm doing on myself or receiving. So what's your best thought on that?
What's your birth date, please, Nancy?
I'm sorry?
What is your birth date, please?
March 30th?
March 30th. So you're in Aries. Okay.
Yeah, I am.
So that's what I felt when you expressed your concern there. What I feel is your mind is where the project is. It's not really in your tummy. I believe it's your very active, Aries rules the head and the brain and the mind. And I believe you're probably a very active mental being. And that's great. That's a wonderful tool. But sometimes that activity, I watched it over the years. When you go to class and you go to lunch and people come back after lunch, the students come back after lunch, as a teacher, it's really a challenging time because sometimes the simplest of concepts really create chaos because while there's food in the stomach, it's hard to digest thought. And when there's a lot of thinking going on, it's really hard to digest food. So my suggestion is find a way, probably the high ones, and I'm sure you've used over the years, the high ones. Look at that, but I'd look at the air element. Remember that second depth, the air element or the metal element, is the disharmonizer of the earth element and the stomach. And so very often when I'm working with folks with digestive project, I'll go to the second depth to find out, the number there is 9. The energies are Aries and Taurus. Okay. and sometimes Taurus doesn't like to let go. So I'd look at your second depth and see what that can do to bring you some relief.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. Nicolette, do you want to unmute yourself?
Good morning. Hello from Australia.
Oh,
I've just got, Hi, I've just got a question. I'm working with an older performer who has quite an important CD release coming up, and he's struggling to remember lyrics. I'm looking for something really simple for him to be able to use. His hands are quite badly damaged. Both his hands are badly burned. He's in a lot of pain, and I'm just looking for something simple and straightforward that I can motivate him to use to help.
What's your thought, Lisa?
Are you working with him yourself, or are you trying to help him with, or give him some self-help? Is he distant from you?
I see him intermittently.
Uh-huh.
I'm not in a position to give him treatment regularly.
Right. I mean, I'm thinking that just calming down his nervous system and allowing him to relax, and so that his brain can, the memory and all that, if he's in pain, he's been through trauma, his nervous system is firing. And I'm just thinking spleen. How about you, Wayne?
Well, I'm thinking of the 19s. I want to give him something really simple. My journey of recent days, and I believe in the near future, is going to be really focused on the simplicity of the art. And so when I hear about big projects, and some of them are big and complicated, I'm going to bring it back down to one simple center. And number 19 is the easiest way to help the nines. And no matter how you look at it, all memory projects, including dementia and mental confusion and loss of brain function that way, they're related to the air element and number 9. Memory is a 9 project. And the project is, most of us have too good a memory. Most of us are holding on to things we should have exhaled long ago. And so what happens then, in not exhaling and not nining and not ending and beginning, we wind up with this accumulation of energy. And of course, then the mind is overwhelmed with information and energy and confusion. So I'd give him the 19s and tell him simply to feel that connection of his 19 to the bottom of his shoulder blade. Engage him in self-awareness. If he's an artist, he knows about, and he's singing, I am assuming, or some sort of music.
Yes, yes.
So have him feel how holding his 19 impacts the bottom of his shoulder blade so that he can breathe more easily. Have him open his wings. Play with him. Get him to be playful. Sounds like he's gotten too serious.
Yeah.
And serious is deadly.
Great advice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Interesting questions popping up here. So time is moving on. Unless anyone's got a really pressing question, I wanted to bring up a slideshow and show you what's going on with Wayne teaching. And I'm just going to do that right now. Is that okay with everybody? Here we go.
Thanks, Terry. Yeah.
Let's start at the beginning. Okay. So I may have mentioned this in the past, but I'll mention it again anyway. Let me see if I can get rid of this. Coming up, August the 9th to the 11th with Wayne and organized by Lisa is this class, 33 Mysterious Vertebrae. All the information is here and on the next slide. If you are interested in this, hold on. I've got Lisa and her co-organizers' contact information. But if you want to, take a print screen of this or take a photo and or contact Lisa or Linda. I believe this class will also include hands-on. That's correct, isn't it, Wayne?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Lisa and Linda are your organizers. So let's go to the next slide.
Let me say,
Yeah.
Terry, I'm just so happy to be able to be in person again. You know, we've gotten away a bit from the in-person classes because of online situation. And I'm grateful for the online connection, but to be able to be in a room and sit with students and my colleagues and my friends, my equals, by the way, I don't hold myself apart from the rest of the group. We're all one, and I'm looking forward to reconnecting and being able to touch and be touched. And fortunately, Lisa has offered to organize and create a situation where we can do that. So we're going to be in San Diego at the 9 through 11 of August. And yeah, please come and play with us.
Lots of hands-on, six sessions a day. Each person gets 2 a day for 3 days, and that just feels transformational. It's wonderful. You can go to my website, JSJSandiego.com, and there's the same information and registration. But it's coming up in a couple weeks, so hope to see you there if you'd like to. Some of you I can see on here today are going to be there. So it'll be a great fun. We haven't had Wayne in person for 6 long years, and it's time. So it's going to be great.
I'm looking forward to it for sure.
And if I may add, it's a great location by water, very calming. And so, yeah, connect with Linda or Lisa or Linda. Information there, but at the end too. And there is another class coming up with Wayne in Europe. And I've just put the information up here. And there it is. You have to contact Catherine Barlier. Wayne, is this in France?
Yes, it's in sort of the western border of the eastern border of France and German border, near Basel and Strasbourg, and it's a beautiful area. It's really,
Yeah, I was just going to say, it sounds beautiful. So, if people want to contact both Wayne, Lisa, or Linda, take a photo of this right now. There's Wayne's email, his website, and there's Lisa's email, telephone number, and Linda's email. And what did you say your website was, Lisa?
It's JSJSandiego.com.
JSJSandiego.com. But anyway, if you connect with Lisa through the email or the phone, she'll tell you all the details as well.
Lisa,
Okay.
can I ask a question? Is it San Diego? I see in your email it's simply SD, but on the website it's spelled out San Diego.
Yes, it is.
Great. Okay, good to know.
Yeah. All right. So that. Whoops. How did we get there? Here we are again. I wandered off. So just before we bid a fond farewell to our hosts, they're not going to be gone for good, as the phrase goes. I just wanted to bring to mind for everybody, some of you may remember one of our students who used to join us on Harmonize to Energize, Winnie McGuinness from Canada. I think Wayne says he thinks from the Halifax side of Canada. And I heard recently, sadly, that Winnie has passed on. Now, you know, I first met Winnie many moons ago in the 90s when she came to visit Editha Campbell, who was the first
Oh,
organizer of JIN SHIN JYUTSU in the UK, and we were sharing a house. And that's when I first met Winnie. I guess she'd met Editha on a class. And she was a delightful, impish, inquiring Aries. My gosh. If there was information coming from, you could feel it from Winnie. It was just, she had a question, often very deep, and she was insistent. But it forced me and possibly others to really think a lot more about our answers. And she wouldn't settle for any just kind of whimsical comment, oh yeah, just told you 15s. It was like, why? You got to tell me more, Terry. This sounds good, but tell me more. So she was a really great teacher for me. And I just want to say thank you, Winnie, wherever you are right now, resting, I'm believing. Thank you for your input over the years. You will be missed. You are missed. And bless you. So those of us that remember her may just want to fold your hands, or however you want to connect with Winnie's soul at this moment, Winnie's spirit, and just say a quiet thank you to Winnie.
bless her. She continues her journey, Terry.
Indeed. Bless her. And bless you all, and thank you for coming today to join this edition of Harmonize to Energize, special edition with Wayne and Lisa. I just wanted to, before I hand it back to Wayne and Lisa, I just wanted to say, you know, Wayne has started a course which I didn't put up there, which you can still join, but some of the things that he mentioned today that Mary said, he is bringing together, he's coalescing in a Mary's Treasures course. Do you want to talk a little bit about that one?
Well, thank you, Terry. I feel so blessed and so honored to have had really incredible experiences with Mary. We were close in many ways. Having the opportunity to be selected to be one of the first instructors that she trained, and we would spend a lot of time simply being together. And so I think it's important. What I'd like to do, you know, Muriel and Philomena have both decided to retire and are no longer presenting. So I'm kind of the Lone Ranger in a way of sharing some of those precious times with Mary. And I want the world to know what a gift she is and was and continues to be for all of us. So we're doing a class called Treasures from Times with Mary, where I'm sharing little hints and stories and things that you don't have time to share or talk about in the 5-day classes or sometimes other situations. So it's just been a really rich and exciting time for me to go back and comb through my notes and find little, like I'm going to share right now with you one, so that you know what I'm talking about. Mary gave us this. She said, if you want to help your metabolism, take your left hand and hold your left 22, but go above the collarbone. Go down into the neck area from above the collarbone, near the center, near the notch, and with your other hand, hold the left 26. Okay, so left hand, left high 22, right hand, left 26. Man, this is for harmonizing metabolism. Now, Winnie, I can hear you asking, now tell more about that, Wayne. Well, right now, folks, right now, just use it. Let it be simple. When you need to understand, it'll come. And this helps thyroid and metabolism and so many projects. Or right hand. Get the other side of the thyroid. The right hand on the right high 22, and the left hand, and yes, the left hand to the right 26. You simply put your thumb in the armpit area or at the base of that shoulder and let the palm of your hand reach through your armpit and the fingertips go around to the 26 on the outside of the scapula, that lateral aspect of the shoulder blade. And so this simple, powerful action will help all metabolic activity, whether it's anabolic or catabolic. It harmonizes what needs to be harmonized. And it will never cause harm. You can use it anytime, any place, and your metabolism will be uplifted and harmonized. Those are the kinds of things that, again, little pearls that Mary shared with us. And I think it's important that we honor her by sharing her message with the world. I want to keep it pure and simple. And she was certainly an amazing being. So that's my way of saying thank you, Mary.
Yeah, folks, I've been on the class and I see some other participants. It's really been great. The energy is wonderful, and there's a lot of good learning, a lot of insights. Those of you, I mean, I did meet Mary, but I didn't study in a class situation like Wayne did. And so, and know her as closely as Wayne did. So there's a lot of gems there. I see Douglas is on. Douglas, do you want to write an email? I've opened up the chat into the chat that people can email you to sign up, or do they just sign, do they just email Wayne? Which way do you want to do this?
Friends can use emails of Wayne contact, but I'm going to write in the chat also. Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, no, thank you, Douglas. Douglas is our host, or I believe one of our hosts, but the main host. And he does a great job. And it's on at the moment, as far as I'm aware, it's on Sundays. And it lasts, well, it's said to last 90 minutes, but you know, Wayne is able to share so much, and he goes into flow. That's how I see it. And so he gives us a lot. And there's a lot shared, a lot given, and I'm personally very grateful. Okay, so
given a lot, Terry, when you've been given a lot, you want to give it back, you know? So that's what's happening here. Mary gave us so much, and my gratitude will never be, you know, able to fully express so much the gifts that she gave. So we're happy with what's happening.
yeah. So folks, Douglas has put in contact.beyourdream@gmail.com. If you can take a quick photo of the chat room now, or write that down. If not, just contact myself or Wayne. You've seen Wayne's contact details, or contact me at H2energize@gmail.com, and I will give you Douglas's email, and you can sign up. There are replays, and you get the replays for 4 months. That's great. So we've got 2 more minutes. Any last words from Wayne and Lisa? Last words, anyone?
Share your wisdom, Lisa.
Oh, I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful to you, Wayne, all these years of studying and inspiring me. And I'm grateful that we're able to be together online and in person. I would thank everybody for showing up today, and blessings. And this path of JIN SHIN JYUTSU is a beautiful learning journey that never stops. And it's just the best thing. So grateful to Mary, to you, Wayne, and you, Terry, for your Harmonize to Energize.
You're very welcome.
And I would say thank you again to all of you for being who you are, for your unique expression. Continue to be who you are. You're a gift to the world, and if you don't be that gift, we'll miss it. And folks, last parting message, when you're in gratitude, you cannot be in fear. One of the ways that I use when fear wants to grip me, I remind myself, I change my focus and I remind myself, oh, I've got so much to be grateful for. Simple things. One of my favorites in the recent days has to be to remember my little kitten, who I can simply watch and laugh at his curiosity and his playfulness. He only had 3 legs, by the way. He had one, owl got one of his legs. And he didn't whine and cry and complain. He was just so happy to be who he is. And that's what you do, folks. Find something, anything that reminds you about happiness, about gratitude. And you cannot be in fear and be in gratitude. They don't coexist. So that's my offering. Find something for which you can say thankful. And I know there's a lot to be thankful for. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Wayne. It's so true every single day. You know, it raises your vibration so much to get into the gratitude. There's so much to be grateful for. So thank you. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Wayne and Lisa. Truly a special opportunity for us to share with very experienced JIN SHIN JYUTSU instructors. But as Wayne says, we're going for the simplicity. And I think that energy came across very much today as well. Someone's just hit a note that Winnie McGuinness was from Kingston, Ontario. Okay, thank you, David. And with that, I want to wish you all well for the rest of the day, weekend, and week. Wayne will be with the Treasure St. Mary on Sunday. It's 10 a.m. Pacific time anyway, and then you'll have to check all the other times. I will set this replay up as soon as possible between the next 24 and 48 hours. So, without further ado, take good care, everyone. Be well. Open your hearts to simplicity, and we'll see you in, it's the second Thursday of the month. So in August, I will be joined this time by Beth Lendrum, and we will be continuing what Manjita Tulsi and I were doing with the JSJ lifestyle, and that's on mental and emotional projects. So look forward to that, and I'll send you details further along. Okay,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you for the wonderful work that you're sharing with all of us, and it's a true gift. So thank you.
You're very welcome. My pleasure and privilege. Okay, everyone. I don't want to end it, but I'm going to have to. Here we go. Bye now.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, folks.
Take care.
It'll never end, Terry. It'll never
I know,
end.
infinity is infinite. See you.
Yes.